I am Tiffany Jones, and this is my RF story. I work at SUNY Downstate with the STAR program, specifically in the Adolescent Education program. I am the Youth Health Advocate Program Coordinator. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. From the age of 2 months to about 6 years old, I lived in Kingston, Jamaica. Around 6, I came back to Brooklyn, New York. At school, I got bullied a lot because I sounded so different from the other kids. And at home, no one really had time for me or paid attention to me because my mom was so busy working. Same thing with my grandma, and my siblings were still living in Jamaica. So I was just by myself, pretty quiet. All of us are 7 years apart, so even though we are so far apart in age, we are still super close. And I think that us being so far apart in age really created a nice balance because we were all in different stages of our life and we just all took care of each other. Around about 11th grade, that's usually when you're in high school and they start to talk about college, and I had no idea the difference between a SUNY, a CUNY, a private, a Common App. I didn't know anything just because no one in my family has ever been to college or graduated from college. I would have been the first person to ever go through this process. It was really challenging for me because I had no guidance. No one had any advice to give me or anything like that. So I ended up going to SUNY Canton. I got really homesick and I would come home every week. Like a 12-hour bus ride. It was a 7-hour drive, but on the bus, 12 hours. Eventually, I ended up transferring to Brooklyn College, which is where I graduated from, which is where I got my double bachelor's of science in public health and health and nutrition science. I got a position as a nutritional health education coordinator, but it wasn't challenging and it wasn't really what I wanted to do. When I was in school, I always saw myself to be like a professor or some kind of educator, and it was an education role, but I was working with the homeless population. About a year into that, I got another opportunity to become a health educator, and that was specifically working with youth. So I was like, yes, all right. I loved going into schools and I loved teaching, and in that role, I was on a committee, the Brooklyn Association of Teen Educators, and we planned a huge conference every year here at Downstate, which is how I met my current team. My current position was open, and I interviewed, and the director said she knew from the second she saw my resume that she wanted to hire me, so it was just kind of like a match made in heaven. The Youth Health Advocate Project is a project that is focused on at-risk youth, specifically educating them to prevent new cases of HIV and STIs and teenage pregnancies. So the populations that we focus on are the LGBTQ youth, young women who participate in survival sex, young women who have experienced domestic violence, and just in general, all young people, but that's the specific focus of the program. It's very easy for me to relate to them because they are just young people trying to navigate this world, and something that I really love about my job is that I've been there. So I love that I can help them and answer their questions and just kind of help them to navigate college and careers. The young people that work in my program, most of the time this is their first job. They have no sort of work etiquette. Sometimes I feel like I can see the potential inside of them. So a lot of them, they're really rough around the edges, and my team might be like, I don't know about that one, and I'm like, yeah, we can work with them. I think it's really important that the Research Foundation has programs like mine and continues to fund programs like mine because it is creating a better future for the young people. We're teaching them how to lead a healthy life, how to take care of themselves, how to educate their peers, what self-care is, what mental health is. Even though our focus is HIV and overall reproductive health, we do so much more beyond that, and I know that this is really an opportunity that changes their lives. I feel like I was the missing puzzle piece. I feel like a sister to them. They're really transparent with me. I love it. I love that they feel like they can confide in me and that I understand them just because I'm a young person trying to navigate a career and just the world in its current stage. So I think I'm just really relatable to them, and I receive them.